My name is James Miller in Midland, Texas, and this is my wife Lynn. And about 2 years ago, we went on a holiday to Las Vegas. Well, Diamond International got a hold of us as we were walking into the hotel and wanted to give us tickets for shows and everything else just to look at their properties. Well, we did and found out later that it was not the smartest thing in the world to do. What happened was we got caught by them for 2.5 days. They stayed on us trying to buy their properties or their sales. I asked them at least 6 or 7 times, is this timeshare? Every time they said, no, it is nothing like timeshare. And of course it is. They came up with the maintenance fees. Those are things that were never mentioned. The man that we dealt with, which was Nemo, he sold us greatly, got all kinds of buildup. What he didn't tell us was that the debt that we were going to incur, which is $16,000, what we had said was that the $16,000 was on the contract for both of us. Then we came to find out that without ever asking or requesting a credit card, they put the entire debt on a credit card. And when they did that, they separated it to two $8,000 debts, probably so that they could easier take you to small court and have that working on their side instead of on ours.
Okay, I'm Lynn Miller. I'm James's wife, and I was a deputy city secretary for the city of Midland for 26 years. And when I retired in 2012, then our plan was to take some vacations and just try to enjoy retirement. So one of our vacations was to Las Vegas, and that's where we got mixed up with Diamond International. Okay, we decided to go ahead and go to the presentation that Diamond was offering and just see what it was about. And we were told it'd be 90 minutes, but it ended up lasting all day because we were put in a room with a lot of other people, and all the salespeople were trying to sell and making so much noise until you couldn't even think what they were trying to tell you. And they give you papers. The guy that we had, Nemo, he would give us a paper. We'd look at it a little bit. We didn't even get to touch it hardly because he wouldn't let us read it. And even on one of the papers it said, we didn't know this till later, but it did say on there, be sure and read this before you sign any documents. Well, he told us nobody ever reads that, so just passed it on. And it was so long and so noisy and so exhausting till we were just pressured to death with the whole thing.
As far as the credit cards are concerned, we have a small problem. If you have worked with any financial type businesses, if you are looking for a credit card, they are going to check your background as to what you make every year. This didn't. There was never a request. We never filled out a chance to get the credit card. We were never given anything. And then the credit card was given to us. 2 credit cards were given to us, and this came after they knew our yearly income. Our yearly income was between 25 and 37.
No, 53. Our income is just a little over 53,000 a year, and this was to be 16,000. So we think we didn't realize that's what they were doing. We didn't even know it until the bills started coming in the mail. And at first they had no interest, but then later they added the interest in.
With the credit card.
For the credit card, yeah. And at no time were we ever given an application for a credit card. We didn't know anything about the name or anything about it. So we did sign our papers because we decided to go ahead and try it. But they were not truthful with us when they said that we thought we would be paying Diamond International. We thought invoices would come for the monthly from Diamond and not a credit card company. We would never have done it if we'd known it was going to be put on 2 credit cards.
And as I mentioned a moment ago, the 2 credit card deal is, again, so they could take it to the local courts, which will accept anything up to $10,000, and rule on that. If you don't get back to them within the allotted time, then they turn around and give them the priority on it to go ahead and have a debt against you for the amount that they're missing. Back about two and a half years ago, I found out that I had cancer. It's cancer of the lung. It finally was treated just a few months ago, and also we had a problem with the heart. There is what they call a left bundle branch, which is a number of things that come up and give the jolt or the shock to the heart so that it operates properly. When they got in there just a couple of days ago, they found that out of the 3 that are running in there, 2 of them were dead and the other one was weak. Without that, I'm dead.
And I told Nemo at the time that Jim was not in the best of health and that we were seeing a doctor for his heart, and that didn't seem to faze him at all because he just went right on trying to pressure us to get into this contract.
I am 76 years old and a Vietnam era veteran, and I was stationed at Fort Hood for about 22 months. And since that time, I have had other problems that have come up from the military and from non-military. And you?
And I am 78, which I don't like to tell my age, but I will for this video. And I am retired and just take care of my husband and my mother, who is 105.
So it's been a lot of load on us for the medical, and fortunately the VA did accept me in their program, and because of that I do have a chance of getting through for a few more years.
They told us at the time that this was a financial investment that would increase in value and that there were tax benefits as owners. And we could easily sell it. But then we were advised that while Diamond has a buyback program, they don't recommend using it because you lose your points, which they stress points that's what they stress all the time. And they told us we would have a personal representative or a coordinator to help us through all of our planning. We never got that. We never heard from anybody. And we were given a tablet that we're supposed to use to find vacations that they offer. But we never got any training on that, so we can't use that either. We did go back for the orientation in August, and we told them we would like to get out of the program. We wanted to sell it or cancel it or something, and they wouldn't even talk to us. They would get somebody else to come and sit and talk to us. They even tried to sell us an upgrade while we were saying we would rather get out, and they just kept pushing and pushing, and finally they left us sitting at the little table
Up on the 12th or 13th floor.
and didn't even come back and just left us.
So we've done what we thought we could, and we've talked to them before, and they are very set in their ways. And as I say, they just put in a claim against us at the courts, and we have to respond by well, by Monday or Tuesday next week. So we're involved in this still all very heavily. And again, the biggest thing to me is how they could give us credit through the credit card when it's, again, $53,000 a year, and they're going to lend us $16,000. Doesn't sound right.
And we never saw an application for it. We never signed one.
The credit card just came in the mail as a surprise, and they said your account is now with them. And this was something we were not told. And as I say, I was told them many times, or asked many times, if it was time sharing. They said no. They went through the whole list of things and what they were going to give us or how they're going to help us. And of course, they talked about going to Hawaii. One of the people that was there, that was in the program, said that in order to get into Hawaii, you better give about 10 years advance notice, because that's one of the most popular places, and all they do is lease it out. So it's been a rough time.
We were at Polo Towers for this presentation, and for the pressure salesmanship. We tried to sell this timeshare back because they told us there was a buyback program. They advised against using it because of the loss of points, but if we sold it back to them, we wouldn't care about the points anyway. So we never got any instructions or any conversation about a buyback program. They did not want to talk about it. They didn't.
They brought three
us.
people up to talk to us about it, trying to pressure us, saying that we didn't want to sell it. We wanted to keep it, and we said no. And they said, "You got it." They never gave us any information about a buyback program.
And when the presentation was fine. It was about 90 minutes, but we got to the table with Nemo pulling out all of these papers for us, but we didn't get to sign them. We didn't get to look at them. We didn't get to read them. He just kept them on his side of the table, so he wouldn't let us take a look at them. And then he kept on and on explaining, pressuring, trying to tell us that's what we needed. We needed this timeshare. And then when we got to the signing part, after we finally gave in, it was just one paper after the other. You sign here and you sign here. Don't read it, just sign it. So that's how that ended. It was very fast when you come to signing documents.
It was between 5 and 7 minutes, I'd say, that they went through all the paperwork, having us initial different areas. They just point to it and say this, 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 and not explaining any of it. We were suckers.
Oh, don't say that.